Hey, welcome back Skittle Squad to another World Zero video. We will be doing part 2 of a 3-part series when it comes to introducing the class in World Zero. And today we will be talking about the Sword Master. That's right, the most popular class right now because it's literally the first one you choose, and everybody seems to choose that one just because it's easier. But before I begin this video, make sure you smash the like button, share and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications. Without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Alright everybody, so here I am as a Sword Master. There's quite a bit of subclasses to it, but I do want to open up my inventory because I do have a set of gear that I will be wearing throughout this entire run, right? So I have a Frostblade. It's a long sword. Sword Masters typically use long swords or shields. They don't use great swords because great swords use 2 hands, long swords use 1 hand. And I think there's also short swords too, which you can also use as Sword Master, but I don't think there's any legendaries for that right now. Anyways, I have 2 of these Frostblades, plus 10 and a plus 9. And they are literally the best ones out there, level 45. And then I have a Gilded Shield, a level 45 shield as well. And it's a plus 10 upgrade. There is another shield that's level 45 that Sword Masters can use, but I'm not gonna go grab that right now. On the right hand side, we're gonna click classes, and we have 3 classes total. You start off as Sword Master, and then you go on to a dual wielder at level 15. You can use 2 long swords then, and then you will swap to a Paladin at level 30, which is a tank row, and use a long sword and a shield. There's quite a lot of skills to get through, so let's jump right to it. All right, folks. So yes, we are starting off with a Sword Master, and I'm going to show you guys all his skills. First off, we have the Crescent Strike. 5-second cooldown, launches the Crescent Strike towards your enemies. And then it has a Leap Slash as well, cooldown 8 seconds. It leaps forward and pierces your foes. These are the 2 skills you start off with. Yeah, there's default skills, but I never really get into that since it's not specific to the Sword Master. Let's go use the Crescent Strike first. Let's see, let's scatter up some of these mobs, and then we're gonna use one. Bam! So that's pretty much a long-range skill you can dish out. It's pretty darn useful just for getting rid of long-range targets. Well, I mean, getting rid of targets before you really get there with range. And I believe Sword Masters and Mages do have at least a range skill for most of its classes. But for Defenders, I don't think they have any. Alright, let's go for a Leap Slash. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, this is the one where it thrusts you forwards. And, well, I'm gonna dodge back and then, come on, thrust forward. There we go. That's a lot of damage. I think it's one of the higher damage skills. And as a Sword Master, guys, you need to understand, as you choose this class, you're more than likely deciding on a route to balancing out your character, which means down the road, you will be making the decision to change to a class that's going to give you a decent defense and a decent offense. So choose accordingly. If you're somebody who likes full-on damage, this is not the class for you. Even though at the very beginning stage, you do quite a lot of damage. Alright folks, if you remember what I said literally a few minutes ago regarding a second shield, I'm actually going to grab it from the bank for you guys. So the second shield that we have, and it's also level 45, it's called Winter's Heart. You get it from the very final map. And yes, there is 2 shields, which kind of is like, well, why is there 2? I have no idea. But I do have one that's plus 10, so we'll be using that one down the road. Alright, and so now I am as a dual wheeler. You do need to be level 15 for this, and you need to wear 2 long swords. You gotta wear both. You literally can't even be a dual wielder if you don't wear both swords. You can't use the skills. Anyways, the first skill we're gonna hop into is Blade Dance. Blade Dance breaches your enemy's defense with this 28 hit combo. It's literally the most ultimate skill that you have for a dual wielder. Then the second one, we have Combat Rhythm. Cooldown 12 seconds, increase the tempo to max, and 2 times critical rate. So it gives you a decent buff so you can do a lot of DPS with your regular strikes or skills in general. And then we have Cross Slash, cooldown 8 seconds, leaps forward, blah 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 blah. That description here is actually wrong. It is a range skill attack, and I'll show you guys in just a bit. And then we have Dash Strike. This is where that description is supposed to apply to, which is weird because, you know, there's double of them. Anyways, the cooldown is 6 seconds, and you leap forward and strikes with both your swords. It's a very similar skill to the Sword Master one, and once again, I will show you guys in just a bit. And at the very bottom, we have the Slash Attack. It's pretty much a dual wielder primary skill with 0 cooldown, so there's nothing particularly unique about it. It's just a dual wielding slash, regular primary slash. So folks, as a dual wielder, this is the last offensive class, offensive base class that you're going to be using for the Sword Master route. But to be honest, guys, like, you might think, oh wait, dual wielder, does that mean that when I swap to a Paladin later, I'm gonna do less damage? Actually, no, guys. Every time you class up, typically, as long as there's a higher level requirement, you're probably going to be doing more damage than the last one, even if that class says defensive or something like that. It isn't beta, but that might be the reason why. So yeah. Anyways, let's go start off with our first skill. We're going to use combat rhythm, buff ourselves up, and now we would do 2 times the crit and extra damage. Yeah, you're not gonna kill me, buddy. Just remember, folks, that this is a buff. So, you know, you can just buff yourself up and then attack. It's not like it's gonna do any combos. You do your own combos for your primary attacks. And now let's test out cross slash. You might think that cross slash only hits one target, but no, it actually hits multiple targets. It actually hits multiple targets because it pierces through your enemies. So let's try that right now. See? I just hit both of them, killing one of the mobs first. All right, folks, let's do dash strike. We're gonna try to burn out this mob. Nope, that's not it. I think it's R, right? Yep, it's R. Did a lot of damage, but I missed the boss. It's definitely one of the higher burst skills that I've seen so far. Leaps you, and it also leaps you forward. And the next thing to test out is gonna be Blade Dance, the ultimate skill that you have to freaking charge. All right, let's try to gather all the mobs up. All right, here we go. Blade Dance. Hits multiple targets, does heck of damage. So, as you saw, it was a really flashy skill. Just throws blades out of nowhere and just, you know, just does so much damage to my targets. Alright, that's pretty much it for the dual wheel. But let's go move on to the next class, everybody. Alright, so here we are as a Paladin. Level 30 class at the very bottom. Your role is a tank, long sword primary, shield offhand. And we have multiple skills to introduce, guys. So the first skill I'm going to get to is block. It's a 2-second cooldown and it blocks and reflects your enemy's damage back at them. So it's very strategically used, guys. If you use it strategically against bosses, you can reflect a lot of damage back. And then we have Gilded Light. 15-second cooldown, guys. This skill right here is very important for minor heals. It doesn't heal as much as the mage skill, but the cooldown I believe is a little shorter and there's a bit more range to it. Do correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below because I'm not 100% sure here. Anyways, we have Light Thrust. Light Thrust is your only primary damage skill as a paladin, but it's actually really strong and with 8-second cooldown, fires light at a distant enemy, enters light sword mode for 1 swing. So it's actually going to give you a huge burst of range pressure damage, then gives you a light sword mode for extra damage. And then we have Ring of Justice. Ring of Justice is your ultimate skill, the skill with the longest charge time. Taking damage heals your allies and enter light sword mode for the duration of it. I don't really know how long the duration is. It doesn't say right here. I'm guessing between maybe 10 to 15 seconds. And every time you take damage, it heals you up instead of doing damage to you and gives you light sword mode, which gives you more damage as well. And at the very bottom, we have Slash with 0-second cooldown. It's your primary skill attack. But, you know, we don't really care about that since, you know, it's not a specific unique skill. All right, so let's go hop into a mission. There's my regular slashes. No, not shabby damage, right? So I'm gonna start off with a Gilded Light, so I can show you guys that I do a pretty decent heal. The cooldown's actually longer than I expected, so heal also doesn't heal as much as a mage as well. So, you know, if you prefer mage heal, the mage might be better with that. And now let's gather this group of mobs up and use a Light Thrust. Okay, I just kind of hit the wrong way. Oops, we'll do it again. So as you can see right there, it did 2 ticks of damage, starting off with your first burst of damage. When the light disappeared, it did another burst. So it's definitely the highest damage skill I've seen from a Swordmaster route so far. I haven't been seeing any subclass in the Swordmaster route that could do more damage than that. And I got the block skill going on too. I'm use the block skill right here. As you can see right there, I reflected a lot of damage, but I still took some. It is a 90% block, which means you were expected to take 10% of the damage to your own health. And what's really great about the block skill is you can actually reflect boss damage. And I'll show you guys in just a bit when we fight the final boss. I definitely feel like the Swordmaster is not a very great soloing class at all, since the primary damage you do is not that high and your healing's decent, but it's not going to keep you alive from the amount of damage you take from soloing. So do consider the Paladin Swordmaster route as a class that you need a lot of teamwork to be able to play. Let me go test out my ultimate skill attack for you guys, the Ring of Justice. Let's go gather this group right here. Ring of Justice. So it's pretty flashy of a skill, so which means instead of taking damage, I'm going to be healing as best I can. Yeah. I'm still taking some damage though. Woo! You can definitely tell that we're struggling a little bit in the final map because we're 2 paladins instead of having a berserker here. All right, here we go with the final boss. We're gonna go all out here. Definitely practice to perfect your block skill because it's pretty important as a paladin. So right here is where I wanted to demonstrate, guys. As you notice, the dragon is up on top. They have this huge burst coming in. If you time your blocks correctly, you can completely negate, well, take 90% damage off. There we go. We just blocked it right here. My friend didn't block, so, well, guess what happened? He took some damage, but I didn't. Well, I took very little, I mean. Alrighty, folks, that's pretty much it for the Paladin. Thank you very much for watching in this 3-part series in this video right now. I will be going ahead and grinding out my defender to make sure it's level 40, get a legendary weapon to showcase it to you guys, and, you know, introduce the skills as well. So make sure you guys subscribe, turn on post notification, and smash that thumbs up so you don't miss out on any more World Zero content. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, yo!